Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a review for a film that I watched on Shudder. It's a Spanish horror film from 2017. It's called Terrified. I've never seen this film. I've heard a lot about it. It's very highly rated on the Shudder app. It's very highly rated just everywhere I go on the internet. People typically talk about this one for whatever reason. But I have to tell you, I enjoyed what I loved about it. But I'm not, obsessed with it like a lot of people are. I've seen some people say in the comments on Shudder that they've watched this over and over again, and I'm kind of like, why? There's some really great things in here. I do think it's worth you checking out, in case you want to see it. It's kind of a nice spin on a haunted house story. It's not traditionally a haunted house story in many ways, but there's a lot of tropes you've seen in haunted house stories and whatever, possession movies, that kind of thing, that are done here that are very, very different from what you have basically seen in the world, and in Hollywood, American Hollywood especially. What is Terrified about? Well, basically, there is a particular house that has a husband and wife in it that they have a lot of knocking noises and beating noises, and it sounds like somebody's doing construction work in the house next door. They kind of have like a townhouse situation where their house and this neighbor's house are connected by the walls and whatever. The actual structure, I assume, is all one big house. And they start to complain to him about how he's doing so much beating on the wall that it's creating a crack down their wall. And that kind of causes this division between them, and they don't really understand what's going on. And we kind of jump from perspective to perspective to different perspectives to see what's really going on in this neighborhood. There's basically some kind of weird haunting that's happening over the entire neighborhood, and it kind of looms over it. We don't really understand what's going on with that. Of course, you watch the film to find out what's going on there, what the mystery is, what's happening, what's changing in this neighborhood to cause these horrific things to start to happen. One particular lady loses her son. He's very young. That's pretty shocking to watch. I will say this, though. As much as I enjoyed this film, and I think there's a lot of truly scary imagery in it, I think there is some stuff involving the bottom, underneath your bed in this film, that it really plays with that truly freaked me out in a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways that I will never look at my bed the same because of the things I saw in this movie. Those things are great. There's some really great stuff in here. There's some great special effects, some great CGI. There's a lot of CGI in this film, by the way. But some of the practical effects I think look really, really good. The story is a little bit tropey, like I said, but most of it's very well done, I think, in the execution of it. And it kind of goes from just a mystery story about this neighborhood, this one street of houses that are having all of these issues amongst these 3 or 4 families, maybe 5 families, to then kind of transforming into a ghost hunting movie where you have investigators and some other folks, some cops, kind of hanging out in individual houses without the families being there, just to see what's going on, see if they can experience anything that seems a bit of an oddity, if you will. The movie transforming into that is a little smooth, but it also it feels like it goes to dead ends, in my personal opinion. But even with that being said, I really, really, really enjoyed this flick. There are some things done with ghosts, or whatever these things are that could be haunting this neighborhood, that I love. I think the execution of that is fantastic. The explanation for certain things in this film are fantastic. And again, the imagery in it will haunt me the rest of my life every time I look back at it. I think the acting, from what I can tell, is pretty good. The story is pretty engaging. I didn't want to stop watching it over the couple of days I had to split it up into. It looks good. It's got kind of like a modern, shiny complexion to it. I'm not really used to the few Spanish horror films I've seen looking as sharp as this looks. That's a really big compliment for me. But I'm not a massive fan of foreign horror that's not Asian horror. I really love stuff like Ju-on, that kind of thing. This was different for me. So with that being said, if you have to watch it, if you want to watch it, and I do recommend it if you haven't seen it before, you're going to have to probably watch it subtitled, unless you're a fluent Spanish speaker, obviously. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was really fun. It has a lot of, again, really good scares, but there's a lot of goofiness in it. There's one in particular at the very beginning of the film involving the married couple in a bathtub that I think that scene looks awful. I think it looks truly bad. There's not really any right way to do it to make it look better, but the budget restraints are clearly there, in my opinion. A lot of it can just, the framing, the direction on some of those moments, like that bathtub scene, for me personally, it looks too cheap. It looks more goofy than what I think this film deserved to look like, because it's a really good flick, I think, for the most part. Aside from that, I really don't have much more to say about Terrified. Has some great moments. I love the stuff with the mom who lost her son. Not that I love that she lost her son, but I really like the things they do with that. That's something I've never seen done in a film. Really eerie stuff. I like it. It's got some good stuff. Has some good atmosphere too, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that. But overall, have you seen Terrified? What did you think about this 2017 little flick? I'd love to hear what you all have to say about this movie. I'm surprised there's not a sequel to this, or at least one in production that I could tell on IMDb or anything listed, because this feels like the kind of film you would go out of your way to make a sequel for, because this had to have made money. It absolutely had to have, with how popular it is. But I also love the poster quite a bit too. The poster is freaking creepy with the dude's head split open. That's creepy. I don't like that. But anyway, have you seen this film? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comment section down below about this awesome little flick. And if I had to rate Terrified on a 5-star basis, I would lean to giving it probably, I would give it a 3 out of 5 stars, but it's pretty high. You know, it's a high 3 out of 5 stars for me, almost a 4. I really dig it. I think it's a good movie, and I recommend it to you guys, especially if you like the haunted house ghost story types of things. The new things that are done here that I've never seen done before very much matter, and I think very much will make the experience better for you. But make sure you watch it in the dark and you focus. Don't get on your phone and stuff. Anyway, thank you all. God bless you. Goodbye.